Hi. So good to see you.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Oh, we're glad you came out.
Thank you. Let's start at the beginning of our journey together. Tell me a little bit about why you came to the original seminar or webinar that you attended.
So I had just retired from a consulting position, was tired of traveling, but wasn't ready to fully retire yet. So I was looking at options for what I could do, and you came along.
And what were you looking for? Like, what appealed to you in a franchise?
Had a lot of support. It wasn't like I would be opening a business all alone, that there was a guidebook, there was people to help you walk through what you needed to do next and get up and running.
Mm-hmm. Did you have some experience?
I had absolutely no experience in this field. No, I did not.
What did you do before?
I supported accounting systems, so very, very technical, very, very cut and dried, play by the rules.
Mm-hmm. And when you were attending my event, what was it about the presentation that inspired you to say, I'd like to explore this?
So it was a comment that you made and that made me think, well, what if? What if it works? What if it's good? What if I don't do this? Would that be wrong? So,
was going back to work an option for you when you first ventured down the franchise path?
If I did, it would be a complete career change. So I would basically be starting over. So why not start over on my own?
I think that the cookie cutter recipe, that when we were looking for something that was didn't have to be easy to do, but something that somebody had done before, and that there was instructions on how to do it, and there was support. I know you told us there were a lot of other people in the area that were looking at the same franchise that would be part of a association that could help you and mentor you. And that was really a good selling point for me, that we're not in it by ourselves, like Linda said, and this has been done before. We don't have to worry about recreating the wheel.
And what was it during the process? What were some of the positives of the experience of working with me and the franchise process that helped build your confidence to know that you maybe were on a path that could work out for you?
So you asked some very good questions, and you asked us to go think about and come up with the answers, made us really think through the process. You also gave us homework, you gave us next steps. It wasn't like just jump in with both feet. It was a process that you go through that really helps you to feel good about the decision that you make.
What were you most worried about, Linda?
I was most worried because I was getting close to retirement age, and any investment I made would be with retirement funds. So I didn't want to just throw that away. I wanted it to be a safe investment, something that I could rely on down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you were telling us to look at things and do due diligence, it wasn't just to go do that, but we knew that there was a phone call coming up in a week, that the questions were, you knew the answers, but you wanted us to see them ourselves. And that when we looked through that, we were able to be held accountable, that we were going to be carried on to the next step, and we weren't going to go to the next step until we were satisfied with all our questions were answered and completely.
When in your process did you know that this was the business for you?
I think when we completely eliminated it the first round. That was kind of a weak point for us, because why did we do that? What did we miss? Why was it so easy to say no? And we come to the conclusion that neither one of us knew anything about it. So I did the gentleman thing, and I conceded to her best judgment, because it was going to be her retirement, and she mentioned it again, and we went through the process with you. And the more we asked, the more we did, the more homework we were given, the more that we were resting assured all the way through. And there's a point where you handed it off to SuperCuts, and I can't really tell where that line was. It was just a smooth transition. SuperCuts picked this up, and it was the same principles over. Here's what you need to do for due diligence.
What were the characteristics of the SuperCuts model that attracted you?
There was a lot of things about SuperCuts. As far as haircuts, people always need them.
I think she was wondering, was she going to be doing this on her own or with me? And that was probably a 2-week soul searching on whether I could support her. I was thinking, what can I do? How can I support her? And after that 2 weeks, we came out that either way, we're going to find things for me to do, and we'll make a partnership. And she has certainly found things for me to do.
So you've kept your job.
Yes, I have, yes.
And Linda, how many hours are you putting into the business now that you're up?
Probably 20 to 30 a week.
Excellent. Okay. Were you at all worried that, because you're not a hairstylist and you didn't know anything about hair cutting, that you would be able to be an effective business owner for this business?
Actually, I was, but the SuperCuts team has people, they have experts that can walk you along the way. It's not my job to cut hair, it's my job to get people in the store so those people that know how can cut hair. And it's my job to make sure that they can do their job. So once I realized that it wasn't up to me to actually cut hair, it was more up to me to make sure somebody else could, and those are skills I have.
Right. What are some of those things that you have been doing to get that traffic in the door?
We have been doing a lot of community service, door to door. There's 3 or 4 stores here open with us now. And when we did our grand opening, they all pitched in and helped us. They put up tents, they talk to people in the community, and then now when they do one, we participate. In other words, we may have a sign out front saying we're here to support the Bonham Smiles next door, so that they'll have draw. I think that's the community awareness. We are doing things with Heritage Days in downtown McKinney. I get all the fun things to do, and the girls get to go out and talk to people, and we have drawings, just giveaways, and it has SuperCuts written all over it. So the brand got out. Those 2 days we were at Heritage Days was probably a pivot point for people coming in. It just opened up the whole new way of doing business here in Bonham. I'm glad we went. We're going to go to the county fair next week, 2 weeks from now, and do the same thing. Just talk to people and tell them we're here. Give us a chance.
Does that feel like work?
It never has felt
No.
like work.
This has been a lot more fun than it has work. So
Oh, that's so good.
One of the shop owners told me that if you want to tell the ladies how much you love them, just sweep up after them. And that's getting to be a habit. And they always say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's an honor to be able to let them take a 30-second break while I do that, because they don't get much of a break during the rush hour.
So you've been open now for a few months this year, right?
right.
And how has it been going?
It's been going very well. We are enjoying what we're doing. We are helping people in the community, both the customers and the stylists that work for us. We're really happy that we did this. This was a good decision for us.
So Linda, I think you were really, really nervous, and rightfully so, because as you've already said, you were putting your life savings into this. And now you're realizing it's more fun than it is work, and you're happy you did it. So what advice would you give to someone watching this video who is in that same place of, I just am afraid to risk?
So the same question you asked me, why not? What could happen if you say yes?
And do you think that it's SuperCuts and the power of the brand that empowers you? Do you think it's something that you've learned how to empower yourself through the process?
Having a support team behind me at SuperCuts has built a lot of confidence in me. So a little bit of both.
It's true then that when I tell people, when you invest in a franchise, you're not buying a brand, you are buying people. You're buying a relationship. That's basically what you're saying.
That's exactly true. And having not been in a people business before, you realize what a change that is and what a good thing that is. So.
What advice would you have for people who are just starting to think about franchising as an option?
I think to get hooked up with somebody that knows franchises, like yourself, that can step you through the process, get you thinking about the questions that you never would have thought about on your own, and definitely do the due diligence, do the homework. I think that's the thing that got us through the hard part, is that we can throw the homework and reading reports and asking accountants what that means and how that works. I think that did a lot for us.
And by homework, you mean the validation with other franchisees?
Yeah, the due diligence, calling. I know you had us call several different options and several different people, and we got a feel for what they did. I think on this one, the people were more receptive. They wanted to contact us back to make sure that if we do get started and we're in the area, that they'd want to help us and mentor us. And that didn't just happen once, that happened quite a few times.
So even in the beginning, before you said yes, you felt the family of support from the other local franchisees.
Yes, we are still in touch with the people that we did due diligence with.
So you never felt like, they never felt like you were crowding in on their territory. It was always like, welcome. The more people here building our brand, the better.
That's correct.
That's true. That's true. And it is true, the more that you work together, the better off the brand's going to be.
This has been great. I'm so happy that we got to come, and I really appreciate you sharing your story. When you speak from the heart, and that is just so awesome. It's inspiring. It inspires me. And the reason that I love my business so much, you're gonna make me cry, is because I get to meet people like you, and I get to help you achieve this. So, thank you for what you do for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.